Yeah, last night we watched Pet Sematary, the 2019 movie, and it was scary and different from the book, but it's really good, even though it's different. But yeah, and then we also checked the 1989 version of Pet Sematary. So oh my god, I liked it more than the 2019 because it's closer to the book. The story itself. So yeah, the ending was a bit different. But yeah, it's really good. What can you say, baby, about Pet Sematary movie?
Yeah, it's like in a cemetery of the pets.
Yeah, he shouted. He got scared. Don't lie. You got scared. Come on.
Me.
Yeah, because he doesn't like scary movies or horror. Anyway.
Like you didn't get scared. You keep on shouting.
Well, what? I didn't shout. Anyway. This is the feeling of starting a new book. It feels so good because today I'm gonna start reading Mystery by Stephen King, and it's raining today.
Yeah, it's raining.
I love the weather.
And I wanted to go for jogging, but sorry, it's raining.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start reading this today. I'm so excited. It's one of Stephen King's classic books, so I am really excited to dive into this book without knowing anything. But no, I know something like. There's a writer and there's this avid fan that, kind of obsessed with this writer, author. So that's the only thing I know. And yeah. Ciao! It's already Sunday afternoon. I didn't read anything at all this morning, and yesterday I got to page 13 because I didn't read much. I was with my boyfriend, we cleaned the aquarium and so on and so forth. So yeah, but the first 13 pages were so strong. It started with torture, pain, and rape. Those are the trigger warnings for you guys if you want to read Mystery by Stephen King. It started so disturbing. Anyway, I'm here in our kitchen because I'm gonna make my coffee. I don't have any plans at all today, so I'm planning to read all day long today, and yeah. Reading in our living room a while ago, and I got to page 45 and a lot of things happened already. It's like starting from the ending. That's how I feel. And then wow, I noticed another creative writing style of Stephen King in this book. Our protagonist here is Paul Sheldon. He is a famous writer, author, and one of his bestsellers is this book titled Mystery's Child. And then there's this, his avid fan, #1 fan of his, named Annie Wilkes, who captured him, and he is now in her house being held captive. So with regards to the writing style, I noticed that Annie's dialogue is alternating with the third person perspective with what happened to Paul, because he had an accident. So it was like Annie's dialogue telling her part of the story of the accident, and then the third person narrative also is like telling what happened to Paul's accident. So it was like the alternation between these two, like I don't know how you can call it, but it was so creative and so effective, and I like this kind of unique way of creative writing style of Stephen King. And well, I just stopped reading because I need to feed my fish, and yeah. What are you looking at? You guys, I want to tell you something, because in this book we have a picture of Stephen King here about the author, and my boyfriend saw it and he's like, oh my god, that's Stephen King. Like, I thought he looks weird or creepy or something else. And then I told him, just because he's writing dark and horror and creepy stuff doesn't mean he looks like it. Like, come on. And of course, he didn't have a really bad childhood. He had an average childhood, so please don't. Guys, it's dark outside now and it's 7 in the evening, and I got to page 63 only because I'm a slow reader. Because most of the metaphors that Stephen King used in this book were heavy, like really heavy, and I needed to read between the lines and needed to understand them. Yeah, because they're not your average horror scary book, I guess. But yeah, nothing really creepy or scary happened in the first 60 pages in this book. But yeah, I don't want to be like, in the Pet Cemetery, I told you, oh, there's gonna be a very light horror, but in the end I was completely wrong. So I'm gonna wait what's gonna happen, and I don't want to say anything because I don't want to eat my words again. Anyway, I despise this girl, his avid fan, because of the things she's doing to Paul. I hate her. So Paul assumed that this Annie was an ex-nurse because the way she's taking care of him, like taking care of him. So that's it, you guys. I'm nearly 100 pages in this book, and I'll see you soon. It's Monday afternoon, and I am currently on page 111, part 2. And part 1 was all about torture, and it's really painful to read, and I think all the suffering and misery will still continue on part 2, so let's just dive in. It's raining today, and I am on page 237. Guys, it's Wednesday afternoon, and I'm currently on page 273. I'm about to finish this book. I have like this chunk right here, and I'm freaking done. I guess I'm gonna finish it tonight. So for an update, around page 189, it was so gross. Annie is an ex-nurse and she's psychotic. I mean, dangerously psychotic. Not only psychotic, but also a serial killer. Like, oh my god. Paul, you are in big trouble. So this book really started as a psychological thriller, and then on page 245 it started to get horror-ish. Like there's the horror and terror there. This book is actually a psychological horror thriller. Oh my god, psychological thriller is a genre that I really love, like my top favorite thriller. So wow. On page 272, there's a Sherlock Holmes reference, and I love Sherlock Holmes. And when Sherlock Holmes died, oh my god, I cried. Really, I cried on that episode. I can totally relate because I also want, Sherlock Holmes to be back, and it was a great episode. And I really like how the author, wrote how Sherlock Holmes came back. It's really good. I mean, I like the creativity there. Just with you guys, I don't know how this book will end, and I really feel sorry for Paul, and I think he doesn't deserve this kind of torture. I'm gonna continue reading and hope to finish this book soon. Hi guys, and I just finished the book. Oh my god, what a ride. Stephen King. Anyway, it was a very crazy ride, to be honest. I mean, psychologically speaking, because it's more like a psychological thriller for me, and a bit of horror, and of course a full terror. Oh my god. And I don't know how to start this. So first of all, I want to say how beautiful the cover. Like, your classic typewriter here, and a bit of like blood here. So this is actually a short story, if I mean, not literally, because it has like 369 pages and it has 4 parts, but to be honest, if I'm going to summarize it, it's a very short story for me, because the story is all about this famous and good author named Paul Sheldon, and he was captured by this psychotic ex-nurse who is very obsessed with his book named Misery's Child, and she's crazy about this book. And because this Misery, the character of the book that he wrote, died, Annie, the ex-nurse, the psychotic bitch, wanted Misery's return. So as you can see, there's torture there, there's rape and pain and suffering happening to Paul, because she's pushing him to write again and make Misery alive, but not a cheat one, but a very natural coming back from the dead, right? So okay, that's how the story goes, and this is a kind of psychological thriller that I love. But yeah, this book is a psychological horror thriller, and it was very terrorizing. I mean, some of the torture here were, you know, graphic. So trigger warnings for you if you want to dive into mystery. And yeah, I love how Stephen King wraps it all up, and it was, I totally admit, it's definitely satisfying how this story ends. It was so satisfying because I hated Annie so much, and oh my god, my anxiety, you know, was like so high because of what's happening to Paul. And yeah, when it comes to writing style, I really like how, you know, Stephen King is writing about his characters, like helping them to tell their own stories, and he's just a third person narrator who's helping his characters to, okay, let's go step by step, and yes, we will tell our readers your story. That's how he's doing, like just there to help his characters turn their own journey and suffering and all this, you know, bad things that happen to them. And it's really a great writing style. And you know, once again, it's ingenious writing style of Stephen King. And other thing that I love in this book is, you know, it started with this psychological thriller feeling, and then there's horror and terror. So it's really a good mix if you think about it. It's a perfect balance between psychological thriller and horror. You know, it's very traumatizing and it's very terrorizing. So it's balanced. So let's talk about the things that I didn't like about this book. First, I hated when Paul didn't use all his opportunities to escape. I don't know why, but okay, it paid off in the end. It's just pissed me off so bad that he got all these opportunities for him to escape her, but he didn't have the guts to do it. And he also was hooked writing Mistress Return, so you have this kind of like conflict. But yeah, another thing that I didn't like was the chapters of Mistress Return, because it's a book, okay, that we have this idea that our protagonists have this famous book, Mistress Child, and okay, he needed to write, you know, Mistress Return for this psychotic bitch. But okay, the thing that I didn't like was Stephen King is putting, you know, like chapters from Mistress Return. I didn't really care much about the story of this book from Paul. I don't know, it's just, I mean, reading it was like kind of bored me a little. And I mean, ending the Mistress Return was didn't really surprise me. I mean, it's a great concept, you know, the Mistress Return, how Paul creatively wrote his character to be, you know, to come back from the dead. It was a great concept. It was, you know, pretty much good idea, but I didn't really care as much. So I didn't like that part where I had to read the, you know, the chapters from Mistress Return. Like, it's so dreadful for me. It's like, I didn't like it at all. And that's the only thing that I didn't like about this book, but overall it's really a good book. So I'm gonna rate this book 4 out of 5 stars. Yes, it's really a good psychological horror thriller, and yeah, it's really worth it, because, you know, our protagonist was so brave, and he is so passionate when it comes to his, you know, writings. And wow, I mean, being an author or writer isn't as easy as, you know, it seems. So this book, even though it's a psychological thriller, it's very slow paced. Like, you really have to be patient when it comes to, you know, reading this book. But again, let me tell you, and I can't stress this enough, how satisfying this book ends. So it paid off. So wow, if you are looking for a light psychological thriller, but some of the tortures were too graphic, and, you know, we have trigger warnings that I told you. So yeah, this book is very tricky anyway. Anyway, that's it, and I hope you guys enjoy my reading vlog for mystery. And the next book that I'm going to read this month is, of course, save the best for last, The Shining by Stephen King. So wait for my reading vlog for that book. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you again on my next vlog. So peace out.